In response to an increase in reported incidents of dog attacks, the centre has enacted a ban on the import, sale and breeding of 23 ferocious dog breeds and a potential threat to human life. It has declared these 23 breeds as the culprit behind the rise in dog attacks. This decision, announced by Dr. O.P. Chaudhary, Joint Secretary of the Ministry of Fisheries, Animal Husbandry and Dairying, aims to address public safety concerns associated with these breeds. The list of banned breeds includes prominent names such as Pitbull Terrier, Tosa Inu, American Staffordshire Terrier and Rottweiler, among others. These breeds, according to the government, have been involved in a number of reported attacks on humans, prompting the need for regulatory action. But here's the kicker. Who decides which breeds make the cut as ferocious? And what about other dogs? How do you guarantee that other breeds don't bite? This move comes amid an uptick in cases of dog bites and attacks nationwide, with recent incidents making national headlines. Concerns have been raised regarding the welfare of both humans and animals, and several animal welfare groups, including People for the Ethical Treatment of Animals or PETA India, to advocate for such measures to ensure the safety of all parties involved. PETA, in its plea to the government, emphasized the need to protect vulnerable dog breeds commonly exploited by criminal elements for illegal dogfighting. They highlighted the suffering endured by these animals and the potential threat they pose to humans when used as weapons. But questions linger regarding the implementation of the ban. How will authorities enforce the prohibition on the import, sale and breeding of these animals effectively? Will stringent measures be put in place to prevent illegal breeding and trading activities? Furthermore, the fate of existing pets belonging to these banned breeds remains uncertain. Will owners be required to surrender their beloved companions, or will provisions be made for their continued care and responsible ownership? While the ban may seem like a step towards dealing with the risk posed by certain dog breeds, it raises questions about underlying issues such as irresponsible ownership, lack of regulation and the prevalence of illegal dog fighting rings. Joining us is Antony Rubin, member of Tamil Nadu State Board for Wildlife and an animal activist. He says that the decision is a welcome move for both the animals and the safety of people. But he too has his doubts about the implementation of this ban. There are no bad pets, only bad owners, he says. He added that this move could encourage people to adopt more Indian breeds.
The Union government issuing notice to ban these particular type A kind of dogs, aggressive, ferocious dogs, is actually in a way welcome move, because there have been a lot of incidents of people getting attacked and everything. But I would have a different take on it in a way that it's good for the dog, because there are very irresponsible owners, and the dog's character is a reflection of the owner's attitude and behavior. So it's never the dog, it's rather the owner. We don't get the privilege to have them as a companion dog because of our bad treatment towards them. A lot of people have been campaigning towards this particular. Even myself, as an independent person, I've sent representation to the government asking them to ban, because every time a dog gets attacked, the dog gets blamed. A dog attacks human, a pit bull attacks Rottweiler, oh, that's a bad dog, it's a bad. And it's like even a movie influence. Like the Omen had Rottweilers. It's like the Satan dog, dark dog or something. But it's not necessarily that. It's safer for the dog to be banned in the state rather than in the country, rather than they being here branded as the bad guys or the bad people, where the owner should be actually branded a bad person. Another approach I would suggest is these type of dogs should be registered with the police department, the local police station. So that way there is a control over there. So police knows these dogs are here, these people are having it. Pet licensing as such is not being implemented big time in the country. That should be encouraged and implemented, because everything comes under scanner and radar. There's no database of how many pet dogs, pet owners we have.
But what categorizes few breeds as ferocious? What is the criteria for some breeds to fall under this category?
The humans have categorized it based on the type of cases which have happened so far, as I understand. For example, there are multiple cases of a Rottweiler attacking someone and rip their head off or things like that. There's been Pitbull cases, but in general, if you notice, the owner is very sweet. I think Rottweilers and Pitbulls are the most sweetest dogs you can ever see or have a companion with. When you'll never get to hear a child being attacked by a Pitbull or a Rottweiler, they're very protective of the family. People who have a Pitbull, they have like a big chain and have this kind of attitude, and it's a different way, and it's more of a lifestyle kind of dog. They want to show macho, powerful people. But actually the dog is the most sweetest. I think people who adopt or buy dogs need to go through counseling before buying or getting a dog, because it's a lot of responsibility. It's like having a child. You can't give emotional time and support for the kid, for the pet also. If you don't get to, the dog loses out, and there's anxiety, and there's it's all sorts of psychological complications for the dog.
Will this ban affect responsible dog owners who have well-behaved pets?
I think it opens up the door to for adoption of Indian dogs, because we have a huge population on the streets who are most immune to all sorts of infection and diseases, and they're all our native species. I think that's how I look at it. I don't look at it as a it's not that you have to have a imported breed dog. That you can always adopt a dog from the street, and we have such a huge population. You can contribute in the reduction of the population from the street, and trust me, when you pick up a dog from the street, the love it shows it's something else. You can't pay for it.
What if it leads to abandonment or mistreatment of these dogs now?
The rules should come out. As I said, my concern is always about this enforcement. How are they going to do it? They shouldn't go up, aggressively, removing dogs.
Yeah.
So, okay, there is a ban. You either sterilize the dog and keep it whatever now. You can't have a dog unsterilized and start breeding it. Say, for example, every dog which is there with all these kind of banned dogs should be microchipped within the next 3 months, and that database should be there with the government, and those dogs should be probably sterilized, and another 15 years time could be given, because most of the life of these dogs which come from outside are less than 15 years. They're forming a plan to come out with a plan. It's still in discussion. I think they're going to have a committee for it and things like that. I would just request the committee to take these points into consideration. They cannot randomly just take off dogs from people's home. When a dog is another their family, you can't take the dogs from anyone's home who are existing already.
Will the ban mean a man will lose his best friend? Only how the move is implemented will tell us that. I'm Deepthi Rao. You are watching India Today, SoSouth.